Fire burns in his eyes, and smoke stretches from his body in long, snaking coils. He is the horseman, an ambassador of death.
This is my body. This is my pain.
Sweet Moses, are you completely useless? Run!
I want you to do it.
No, hang on, Dimitri.
I hold his tiny head in my hands. The fear in his eyes is delicious. Mila, you can't beat him. I return to claim what is rightfully mine. In this body, I'm a machine built for war.
Vedmak, don't do this. Get ready.
I'm free. Free of the chains that bind me. Free from the blithering idiot who keeps me inside. I am the master.
Fellow book nerds, Stu Jones here, author of It Takes Death to Reach a Star, and I've got something special for you today. But first, check this out. So, I just got my sci-fi collection box from JeanBookNerd. I'm not typically a trinkets and collectibles and extras sort of guy, but this box is really, really cool. Signed postcards and t-shirt, book of your choice, lots of cool stuff comes in this box, and of course the box just looks awesome to begin with. So that's a little aside. Go to JeanBookNerd.com and order your sci-fi collection box today. All right, so today I'm going to be reading lucky you, I'm going to be reading an excerpt from In the Shadow of a Valiant Moon by the brilliant Dr. Gareth Worthington and some knuckle dragger from Alabama. Okay, here we go. We're going to take off with our story here. We're going to take up in, I couldn't decide whether to read a chapter from the protagonist Mila or her counterpart, Vedmak / Dimitri. If you've read the first book, you know. So I decided to give you a taste of each. Okay, so the first part is going to take up at the end of chapter 3. Mila is at the Resistance headquarters after a difficult mission. The hour grows late, and much of the daytime activity of the Resistance hideout is now quiet. Through the twisting red stone hallway, I pass bundles of tattered fighters huddled together. Some play games of Ozut, trading cards and trinkets and passing a jug of shine, while others lay where they can, resting with empty stares on makeshift cots and pallets. They've been through much. A woman dips her brow. "Paladin," she says, with a look of admiration. I force a smile and touch her shoulder, but keep walking. Others raise their heads and murmur the word, gazing at me with hope in their eyes. Paladin, a guardian, a defender of the people. The weight of the idea presses down, a sack of stone upon my shoulders that promises to bend my knees with each step. I just lost 11 of them. 11 hopes and dreams snuffed out. I'm no guardian. I never wanted such a title or asked for any of this. Slipping into the boiler room, I wink at Philly, the girl working the cauldron. She's young and spirited, like her name suggests. It's here soiled and infected clothes are boiled for long periods to try to keep us clean and as healthy as reasonably possible. Philly talks about her mother, who works in the comms room, and hands me a bundle of fresh garments. She handpicks them, knowing by now the things I wouldn't wear. She also gives me a jug of warm water, a packet of herbs, and a clean cloth for bathing. I thank her, promising to drop my soiled clothes in the morning and head back to my bunk. The lone candle ignites, throwing jagged shadows on the wall. The prospect of sleep offers both welcome relief and a deep-seated dread. Will I dream? Will I have to hear Farouk's screams as his captors drag him away? Will I have to bear witness as the fourth horseman steals Dimitri's body and invades my dreams again? My eyelids are so heavy, but I'm filthy. Though bathing won't wash away the blood I've spilled, actions that stain my soul, I complete the ritual. The candle nears the end of its life, brown wax spilling over the rim of the lid in which it sits. I slip out of my shirt, step out of my boots, and then unfasten my cargo pants and let them slide to the floor, leaving me standing in my tank top and undergarments. I place a basin on the table beside the bed, crumble a handful of herbs into it, and pour it full of warm water that slides into it from the ceramic jug. From the floor, I pick up a short plank of clouded mirror. The smudged reflection of a survivor stares back, a person with so many more scars now. The oldest one, running down my forehead and across my eye, can almost be overlooked. Almost. Wiping the blood and mud and grime from my face and body, the steaming herb-filled water reveals a woman hidden beneath the terrible remnants of war. A woman. What does that even mean? This vicious world doesn't care if I'm male or female. It will chew me up and spit me from its mouth all the same. An equal opportunity for each of us to find death waiting at the end of a gun or knife inside the next dark alley at the hands of an elitist, a fanatic, or savage. The toned muscles of my body tense as I carelessly brush the cloth across the edges of an open wound. Damnation! I gingerly touch the cloth to it. The faded strip of material collects flecks of dried blood. It hurts, but it's superficial. No one asked me if I wanted this wound, but I received it anyway. The same way I came into my position as a leader of this group. It just happened. Farouk, Dimitri, and me, along with Mose and Gofan and Denny, we were so full of energy and purpose in those days. By our passion alone, and guided by the hands of Yeos, the Creator, we won the war against the leader of the Grey Isles, but the terrorist Kapka left his mark. Etium and the lily pads fell. Most of us lost something, or everything, for our efforts. I dropped the cloth into the bowl and returned the mirror to the floor. I'm tired, and my clouded reflection makes me think too much. Lying back, I pull the scratchy wool over my exposed skin and allow my eyes to fix upon one point in the stone ceiling, a dark patch like a bit of spilled ink. Yeos, merciful Father, the prayer begins. Faith is all that remains of the old Mila Solikov, who went to war and became a leader of the resistance. I've tried so hard not to stray from the path of the Lightbringer, yet with every decision made, with every life lost, his guiding voice becomes harder to discern. Sleep creeps upon me, a drifting blanket of warmth and exhaustion. Don't dream tonight, Mila. I lean forward to the flame of the candle jumping from a wick grown too long, and with a puff of breath, darkness. Chapter 4. Dimitri. It's black in here while he sleeps. Behind the eyes once mine, I exist, in limbo, alive yet unliving, watching from afar every single movement Vedmak, or the Vardoger, as he insists on being called, makes. Every breath he takes, I experience it as if it were mine, yet I'm not in control. Here in the recesses of my own mind, I'm a prisoner. He relishes it, knowing it pains me to feel my own body do the things he commands, especially to sweet Anastasia, his robust pet. It's the only reason he does it, because he knows the torture it inflicts upon me. To feel her skin crawl and see the absolute disgust in her eyes staring back as Vedmak forces my body to penetrate her. I hate myself for being unable to stop him. Next to me, here in the dark, I can hear her shallow breathing as she sleeps. He used to take the mask off to allow Anastasia to see my face, burned as it is, so that she could despise me. It was a mistake. Without the stim, I was able to grasp control. She thought him, crazy. This body thrusting and crashing against the walls, arguing with seemingly no one, until I was victorious, until I had control. She kicked and scratched as I released her bonds. I just kept repeating over and over again that I was sorry, that it wasn't me. It was Vedmak, and I was Dmitri, that he made me do things. I told her to run, to escape. She chose to hit me in the head with the steel of her restraints. The shock, the injury, had the opposite effect of what she desired. It loosened my hold on my own body and allowed Vedmak back in. In her eyes, I could see the horror as she watched my face change expression. 1 minute me, the next him. That was 3 months after he first captured her out in the Vapid. She'd been attacked by Rippers and some other unknown assailant. We found her shaking in the stripped cart, muttering the word Usuri over and over. Occasionally, when Vedmak sleeps, she talks to me, calls softly to me, asking if I'm here. I can hear her, telling me she knows I'm strong, that I can save her. There are even moments when my will feels powerful enough and I can push words through the lips of my own sleeping body to her. I tell her that one day I will save her, but it's a lie. I can't. After my attempts to free her, Vedmak keeps the mask on. I try so hard to fight. Sometimes I prevail, holding back my body, holding back his lust. But mostly I fail. I fail her. I'm not sure why it matters so much, this one girl, this one robust. Perhaps it's because she looks like Mila. He cut her hair short and sliced a wound into her face using the laser scythe to match Mila's scar, but Mila never searched my eyes the way she does. Every time he punishes her, she searches for me, hoping against hope. This time, I will come to her rescue. In the 3 years he's kept her, I have grown to admire her strength, her resolve, but most of all, her belief that there is still a good person somewhere in this engineered shell. Perhaps that is what makes it worse. Vedmak doesn't even want Anastasia. It's Mila he wants to torture. He knows hurting Mila would kill me. I'd probably fade away to nothing from the pain, but he can't let her know his whereabouts. He's not ready for her yet. She's been searching for him, for me. There have been times where she's been so close and didn't know it. He sat in the dark, breathing heavily behind his mask, watching her march by in her band of resistance fighters. I even screamed out, but of course she couldn't hear me. The Stems cocktail he's created, based on the red mist, and used to keep me at bay, has been modified. Every time I feel I'm overcoming it, he changes it. Lately, the dose has been so strong I seem to have dissolved for days. When I return, chunks of his plan have jumped forward, but the stem is imperfect. His Graysile warriors, attached to demons like him, do as he bids most of the time, but they have fits, psychotic episodes, where they're uncontrollable. Vedmak's workshop, the Poisons Lab, he calls it, is dedicated to perfecting this stem, but so far, he's so dissatisfied. I'm no biochemist and of no help, but he knows what I know, and so, tomorrow, when he wakes, he plans to travel to Zopat and find the alchemist, a robust woman who sold me the red mist all those years ago. Destroying the leader also destroyed me, the pain stripping away my hold on my own body, leaving it open for Vedmak to take control. And he's been in control now for 4 years, busy the entire time, plotting and scheming, utilizing my knowledge to forge his plan, to continue what he started so many years ago in Revolution war-torn Russia. He's so close, yet so far. The process is slow and his target will be hard to achieve. It will take many more years to fulfill what he plans to accomplish, especially without the tokamak. This is what enrages my occupier the most. Many times I've tried to tell him, the process can't be accelerated, not with the resources we have. He abused Anastasia for a week straight, believing I was holding out on him, trying to make me tell him a faster way. There is none. But even if I did know, I wouldn't tell him. Even if he tortured her to death, compared with what the Greysal leader wanted to create a black hole, the side effect alone of Vedmak's plan is far worse. But he's deaf to it, thinks I'm only trying to dissuade him. I'm not. His plan is flawed, and if he's successful today, tomorrow, or in 50 years, it won't matter. Anastasia shuffles on the cold floor. The fingers of her bound hands brush against my back. She mumbles my name. If I had control of my own body, I know tears would now well and a stone would form in my throat. Sweet Anastasia, even if I could save you, we're all going to die anyway. In the Shadow of a Valiant Moon by Gareth Worthington and Stu Jones, available now. Thank you guys for your time. We'll see you next time.